Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all listeners out there. Welcome to From the Hill podcast, episode number 2. I am Wild Wayne Cartwright with Jay the Great, T. Gooden, and C.K. Williams. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing this evening?
What's going on, Wayne? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, we living. We got a lot to get into. So y'all ready to kick this off and let's go forward?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
All right. So before I say anything else, y'all, like to just thank y'all for joining us here live on this first live stream. As y'all can see on the bottom of the screen, we have all of our links that you can connect to us with. Make sure you invite others to this show, and we rocking and rolling. So without further delay, we got our first topic, which is, unfortunately, we have to talk about the Bulldogs who fell to 3-6 overall at Mississippi Valley State, 30-20 on Thursday night. Now, some of the things with this game, I know that a lot of people had a lot of complaints and there was a lot of frustration. We had just come off of losing to Alabama State on Saturday, the 29th, and then we immediately had to travel back down to Mississippi Valley, who was coming off of a bye week. So here's a few of the diagnostics of this matchup. So A&M outgained Valley 473-395. All right, A&M, they had 363 yards passing. That was a bright spot. Low spot was they only ran it for 110 yards. Also, something else that hurt us, 4 turnovers. We had 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. Penalties, 9 for 95. Including a couple of key unsportsmanlike conduct penalties that hurt us in key segments. Another stat that was alarming here, 1 for 10 on third downs. This season, the Bulldogs are 32 for 114 on third down conversions. That equates to 28% conversion on third downs. Valley, they didn't really do a whole lot offensively, but when they did do something, they really hurt us in the passing game. And also, they ran for 201 yards, which is 4.8 yards per pop. All right. And also, we didn't get them off the field on third down. They converted 7 of their 17 third down attempts. So with everything that's said with this game, let's just get into it, round table it, kick it off. Anyone that wants to talk, we got a lot to discuss with this.
Ladies first, of course.
Yes, ladies first.
Ooh, well, the Valley game. Well, I said on the last episode that going into a short week after losing to your biggest rival, and especially in the fashion that we lost, and going against a team that was coming off of a bye week. They were winless, but they were hungry for a win. I called it a trap game on our first episode, and I was right. It just watching the game, our boys, they definitely tried. Gave the best effort that they could, but it was just way too much stacked against them. One of our biggest things, like Wayne said, was we lost the ability to run. You got to run, especially in a situation where, like you said, again, we're doing it in passing yards, but you run, wear their defense out, score, and we just did not do that. But again, still very proud of these young men. It's just, it was a lot to come against with the short week, especially coming off of that Magic City Classic loss.
All right. Well, Jen, like you said, you said it's a trap game, but I'm just gonna go one step further. I honestly think that the 4 turnovers is we're not good enough to make 4 turnovers. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
Our team is not good enough to make 4 turnovers and win a game. Point and blank, last year, we could make those kind of turnovers and still come back and win a game because our offense can score at will. But when our offense has to drive 80 yards, 90 yards a game, we're not consistent enough to be able to do that. We don't have the playmakers. Now, we do have a good team. However, we don't have, I don't see a leader out there. The leaders that we were supposed to have is not on the field right now. Whether it's injury, our all-SWAC receiver, Ibrahim, injury, or our all-SWAC supposed to be running back, but who's no longer on the team. But we just don't have that leader. And to make 4 turnovers, that's room for disaster, as well as penalties, as Wild Wayne stated, on third down has been an eyesore all year, getting out the field on third down, whether we give up 30-16 or whether we have a penalty, whether it's pass interference or something, to extend the other team. So that's what it comes down to. We're not good enough to make those type of mistakes.
Now, I do want to just interject real quick. I think we do have a leader. And I know he's still relatively new to the team, but it's very hard to come behind the kill glass.
Exactly.
It is hard to come behind the kill glass, but I want to give Quincy Casey his flowers. He was putting the ball on the numbers. He still, even though, the game wasn't going the way that we wanted to, he still kept his head in the game. So I do want to give Quincy Casey his flowers.
But Jen, let me interject now. Let me interject. A leader is somebody who everybody follows and everybody respects and follows. And I do not see that on this team. However, expectations was high this year, and it should be. But it just hasn't went as planned. But the guys are playing hard. I got to give it to them.
They're playing hard.
And I love my Bulldogs. But when you make turnovers, as we have, key turnovers this year, as we have, it's hard for the kind of team that we have to dig out a hole like that, because we're not a quick scoring offense this year. So when you make those turnovers, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball, and that's what we're doing in big games.
Yeah, fully agreed. Fully agreed. Go ahead, T.
I just want to say I'm disappointed in the team, man. I'm not disappointed in the effort, disappointed in the execution. Because there have been plays that, like you said, there have been drop balls by receivers. There's been missed throws by running backs. There has been missed blocks. There have been missed tackles. You can watch the games and see that the effort is there, but the execution is not. I don't know, how do you make execution better? I don't personally think a coach can make a player on the field execute. I think that's something that the player has to do. But I do know the coach has to put them in the right position. I know there's been a lot of talk about, we don't have the right coach. We don't have the right this and that. And then we can get into that a little later. But I'm just disappointed in our team this year. Like I said, the effort is there. I go to every game. If I'm not there, I'm watching it. It's just the execution. It's dominating the man in front of you. We always get dumb, and we get dumb. I'm not going to say always. We get dominated more often than not, and there is no way that we should have went to Mississippi and played the game the way we played it. Again, like you guys, I'm proud of my Dogs. I'm going to support the Dogs to the end of me, but I'm just totally disappointed in the execution that we've been showing.
Yeah, and likewise in that sense about this game, the penalties are some of the things that just really has driven me insane for the whole season thus far, because, as a student of the game, you guys, everybody's seen me speak. You guys know that I see the game and I know the game. And the thing that gets beyond just pure X's and O's is when you have self-inflicted wounds. And the point of the game that I felt like it told me that it probably may not have been our night was, it's 14-7 Valley with about 2 minutes to go in the first half. We make a third down. There's a third down play. We come up just short of getting the first down. So it's going to be 4th and 1 from Valley's 37-yard line.
Right.
And we had the offense on the field getting ready to go forward on 4th down. And then one of our guys gets undisciplined and gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. 15 yards, end of drive. We punt. We never got close the rest of the game. And so it's those kind of things that, that we got to clean those self-inflicted things up. Because when you're committing penalties, it's one thing. I mean, when you're not running the ball or if you're not executing in the passing game, that stuff is schemed. That stuff is skilled. Those things can be corrected. But when you're doing self-inflicted penalties like, personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conducts, those are things that are pretty selfish, that you're putting your emotions above the team. So those are some of the things that really has gotten me. And so, like, the other thing we wanted to get into in this segment here too is, we know that there was a lot of frustration about this loss. And a lot of people voiced their frustrations about Coach Connell Maynard's performance. Right. And point blank, I'm just going to say this. This is Connell Maynard's first losing season. It's already been clinched. It's going to be best we can do is finish 5-6. Okay. And I get it. A lot of people, their emotions were high after losing the Classic and then turn around the double whammy to lose to a winless team. And I get it. And there were a lot of people who were upset about, well, first of all, we got to address this. People had said, well, why did y'all schedule a game right after the Classic? Well, let me just clear that up. The SWAC conference makes the conference schedules, ladies and gentlemen. So the SWAC did us on that part. But I don't want to absolve the team of that because they knew what this schedule was a year out. So that's something that you have to plan and you have to prepare for. So real quickly here in this segment, we got a few minutes left in this segment. I just want to get everybody on this panel's take about Coach Maynard.
Well, I like Coach Maynard, and I defend Coach Maynard. I've never met him. I've saw him on the sideline, but I've never shaken his hand. We've never talked. It's coaches I have spoken with, but I like Coach Maynard. It's simply because of what you just stated. This would be the only his only losing season. We went 7-3 last year. 7 wins, 3 losses. And we lost those three. I think we lost those all 3 in a row, right?
Yeah, it was Grambling.
FAMU, and Jackson State.
Correct.
Now, we didn't want to lose any of those games, and we let at least FAMU slip away. We just got dominated by Jackson State.
Yeah, but the Grambling game was 6 turnovers.
Right. But he went 7-3. So we can't. We've had previous coaches that I've never seen this type of backlash from that have done way worse in a longer amount of time. So why do this now with Coach Maynard? I don't know why, but and I'm Bulldog till I die. If he's not getting the job done, I'll be the first to say it. But now we can't bail out right now.
Right. And I'm gonna speak on that because first of all, it's absurd to even consider that even someone would think about getting rid of Coach Maynard. I know the coaching staff. I know the quality of the coaching staff. They want to win as much as anybody. And one losing season, that's absurd. We shouldn't even entertain that. They have, our full support, my full support, because, as T. Gooden stated, they went 7-3 last year. Easily could have been 9-1. And he's had a winning season ever since he stepped foot on Normal field, which is a good thing considering the years that we had before Maynard touched down.
Right.
And so it's all about support. We need to get behind and support these coaches. But I think, people are looking at what's going on at some of the other schools. I don't want to claim that school, but that coach down in Mississippi.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a second.
They're looking at that success, but we need to support what we have, build a good foundation. And yes, we expected more this year, but things happen. I'm pretty sure it didn't go as they planned, but I'm pretty sure they're working hard to change that. So, I'm supporting our current coaching staff. All the talk outside is premature.
I'm looking here at the comments and I see I agree. The standard was set very high after that spring championship. Yeah, I agree. Jen, real quickly, you got anything on this?
Yes. I'm 100% behind Coach Maynor. I know a lot of the loudest critics, I only see at Homecoming and Classic. So I just want to make sure I get that and you can quote me. What I mean by that is we're for those of us who followed the Bulldogs throughout the years, we've had some rough coaches. And a rough coach would set your program back. If you fire a good coach, you hire, whatever your replacement is, and it's not as good as the previous coach, you set your program back for years. And it is hard to dig out of that hole. So please be mindful that when you are calling for, his job, who are you going to replace him with? Your friend, your cousin?
That's what I think.
We're not doing cousin ball.
And they're going to get a clone and call him Neon Sanders. That's what they're going to get.
Boy. If some people want to get rid of Buddy Pugh after he won a Celebration Bowl last year.
Right.
So explain that. But we're going to stick to the topic.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to the next one. So as everybody knows, this is the game that's been on the schedule for such a long time, and it's finally here this week. Gulf Coast Challenge, Mobile, Alabama, against Jackson State Tigers on Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. You can catch the game on ESPN+. Down there at Ladd Peebles Stadium, this will be a very festive atmosphere. A lot of people will be traveling down to the port city to see this game. Now, about Jackson State, we all know they come in with an undefeated 9-0 record. They have just about obliterated everybody that they've played this year. Tennessee State was a close one. They beat them 16-3, and they played Campbell pretty tight on homecoming down there in Jackson, 22-14. All of their games in SWAC play have been really, really one-sided. Offensively, they average 307 yards passing. And they're also running at 175 yards a game, which is 5 yards a pop. Defensively, they've been very stingy. In SWAC play, they've only given up 8 points a game, which is pretty tough. In fact, the most points that's been scored on them this year was 24 by Grambling, but they also put up 66 in that matchup. I know a lot of people are not expecting us to win this game, and that's okay. If the only people that believe that they can win that game are those men that are in that locker room and those coaches, that's good enough for me. For me, before I turn it over to you guys, my 2 cents on this matchup is very cut and dry. When you're an underdog, you have to go ahead and you need to empty the chamber. Whether it's trick plays, stuff that you hadn't tried, you gotta really, really go for it. Because at this point, with a 3-6 record, we already know that we're playing with house money. And when you're not expected to win and you're expected to lose by a wide margin, what do you have to lose? My expectations and my hope is that we can somehow keep this game close into the fourth quarter and just somehow just stay in it. The way it's going to get done is we cannot be committing these penalties. Averaging 9-10 penalties a game, it's not going to do it against Jackson State. We also cannot turn the ball over. Instead, we have to be the one that turns them over. And then also, lastly, before I turn it over to y'all, something else that I've seen that teams have tried and it's been kind of successful is when you play a little bit of that zone defense, that shell coverage, when you can put some safeties back and force them to dink and dunk. Shedeur Sanders, their quarterback, he has a tendency to want to make the big play. And when he sees that he tries to make a big play, he can run around the pocket and scramble. And a lot of times he gets away with it because SWAC defenses some of them don't have the discipline or don't have the speed to be able to contain him. So if somehow, some way, if we can keep this thing close and give them something to think about, that's something that I think would be a win for us. So Love to hear your thoughts, and then I'll come behind it with something about our old boy, Coach Prime.
My thoughts on this one. I think I said this to you guys yesterday when we were talking about what we're going to talk about. To me, it's very simple. We have to play a perfect game, and we need Jackson State not to. It's that simple to me. We can't play like we played in the previous, and we need them to make mistakes. I catch them when we're not playing. Real good football team. Not gonna lie, I can't hate on that. It's a real good football team. But good football teams lose all the time. We seen that on Saturday that just happened in SEC football. We seen it all over the country. Good teams lose all the time. But like Wayne said, if the only people believe that they're gonna win are those people that put on the shoulder pads and helmets, and those coaches that put on their polo shirts and headset, if those are the only folks that believe it, that's okay with me too.
Hey, TG, I'm right with you. Hey, this is the Bulldogs Super Bowl. This is their Super Bowl.
It is.
So, hey, effort is the price of admission. So,
Facts.
we can lick our wounds all we want to, but I want to see that Bulldog pride. And like Wayne said, if we can hang in there to the fourth quarter, hey, that voodoo in Mobile, voodoo everywhere might come into effect, and you never know how it might turn out. But I want to see our boys come out and fight to the very end. That's what I want. Show that Bulldog pride. And yes, if we play Bulldog football, because I'm pretty sure that team in Jackson, Mississippi is going to come in overconfident. They feel like the last 2 games of the season that they have on their schedule is cupcake games. And we want them to think that way. Right. So I'm pretty sure our coaches will do a good job of getting them prepared. But our players is going to have to really be mentally focused and into the game. And like you say, between those lines, anything can happen on any given Saturday. And so, we looking at our fans when they get ready to start playing Love Today. Hey, everybody gonna be locked in. The fans gonna be locked in, and we're gonna try to will them. That 12th man gonna try to will them to victory. So I'm hoping that on that field, hey, they'll give us their all, which I know they will. And I want to be here next week talking about how upset victory against Jackson State.
Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. This is going to be to the fans. Like I said, our boys, they have a a tough game ahead. I need y'all all on 10. Like Corey said, when Lovely Day comes out, I need pom-pom shaking. I need everyone to let them know that we got their back. Like we can do it. We've done it before. So this is, of course, it's a different landscape. But we can do it. We typically win in Mobile. Mobile is our city. We are the away team, but Mobile has a huge Bulldog fan base. So I need that Bulldog spirit at that stadium. When the band play, you chant. When the cheerleaders chant, you chant. Shake those pom-poms. Give it all you got, because our team is going to need that support.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hey, Wayne, one thing. I know we got to move on.
Mm-hmm,
but one thing. I just want to make sure, I want to challenge that O-line. If you're out there watching O-line, I'm challenging you to get ready, get mentally prepared, because you finna go against some grown men on that defense. And and that's gonna be where the game is won at. On that, being able to contain that defense. So I challenge you. So O-line, bring it home.
Absolutely. And so before we move on, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about something I entitled the Prime Effect. So let's make a few things clear here, ladies and gentlemen. We know that there are people who have simply idolized Deion Sanders. What he's done has been great. All right. I'm not going to sit here and try and hate on this man for what he has done for Jackson State University.
Right.
Notice how I said for Jackson State University. A lot of times people, they sit here and they take a look and they see what somebody else is doing, and we know it's a copycat society. Somebody has a shiny new toy, you want a shiny new toy too. But let's just be very simply and very clear here. Jackson State caught lightning in a bottle with this move. No one knew what was going to happen. And some of the people who are praising them are some of the same people that said it was a publicity stunt. They said he ain't never coached before. How is this going to work? All right. And now some of the people who, even in our own fan base, have propped them up and have gotten on us and saying that we're haters when we're just simply just saying things that, look, we want to beat them. We don't want to idolize them. We want to beat them. We want to win. Now, if you think that you can just go out here and just hire just any old superstar that used to play in the NFL, you got another thing coming. And like Jen said earlier, why are you talking about our head coach? If you feel like he needs to be replaced, hey, what's your plan? What's your plan? Because it's deeper than just coming here and just giving X and O's and then recruiting. One thing you need to remember, though, is this man, he has a lot of the connections that a typical coach does not have. His celebrity, his personality. He's able to pull in players. He pulled in the #1 recruit in the country. Now, don't think that some of his celebrity as a Hall of Fame player didn't have something to do with that.
Right.
And one other thing, and this is my charge to all of the A&M people who are watching this tonight, and even those who are going to see this video on a replay. When you look in our stands at our home games, when recruits come on campus, that's the first thing that they look at. They want to look at the game day atmosphere. They want to feel the excitement. They want to feel the rush of the crowd. Well, you can't feel a rush from a crowd that is not there. You can't feel the rush from a crowd that is outside in the tailgate area. So when we're sitting up here and we're saying we need another coach and we need to do this and we need to do that, I would give you charge to remember that if you're not going to games, if you're not donating, if you're not even supporting, then it's hard for any of us to have to believe or give credibility to some of the complaints that are out there. This is something that we ourselves have a chance to fix. I myself, next week, I'm going to get in my car from here in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm going to make a drive down to Alabama. And I'm going to be at the last home game. And when I get there, there probably won't be very many people there. But guess what? I'm going. And it's something that we as Bulldog alums, we have to take serious. When we're talking about Coach Prime and you want something, you got to cherish what you have. Because if you're not supporting what you have, it's hard to imagine you getting on board with something else.
Thanks.
I digress on that point.
I just to piggyback off of that, again, the charges to the fans, the charges to the alumni base, the charges to the student body. We got to do better. You want, these recruits to come in. They're not going to want to come and play in front of nobody.
Facts.
That's just the thing. Get those season tickets. Get those donate. I've seen people brag, oh, well, that's why I don't give back. You're not doing anything but hurting your school. Because one thing I will give Jackson State credit on is that even before they got Coach Prime, they still led the FCS in attendance. So it's important for us, and this is just Bulldog to Bulldog, to support our program the way we sit there and, discuss others. When we talk about this and we talk about that, we talk about the Alabamas, we talk about the Auburns, and that's fine. But guess what all of those programs have? Fan support. They have people opening those wallets. this is the challenge. Fans,
Hey.
alumni, do better.
And then real quick before we move on, I know a lot of people will probably say, hey, well, we had fans in the stands before and we still lost. You're totally right. But Obama said a long time ago, be the change that you want to see. Control what you can control. You can't worry about the next man's pockets. You can't worry about what the next man is going to do. Control what you can control. And each of us can contribute to our football team and our athletic program via money or even via fan support.
Correct.
Now, I do want to just kind of piggyback. I know we want to stay on our schedule, but what is y'all's actual solution other than season tickets and donating? Well, I mean, that's a huge
that's a big part of it.
Money makes the world go round. Like right. you want something to improve, throw some money at it.
Correct. Which is the brilliant segue here about basketball. So as we see here with basketball, their season opener is going to be against North Alabama Thursday night. If you're in the neighborhood, shoot on by Elmore. Come on out and support. Women's basketball, they fell yesterday in their season opener at Alabama. They'll be in action again on Sunday at Nichols in Louisiana. And then
watch that game yesterday. I'm sorry, Wayne. Watch that game yesterday. Don't let the score fool you. If you look at how our women played the game well. If you listen to the commentators, one of the commentators is a Bama basketball graduate. He even said, like, hey, the fans shouldn't get down on our team about that game because the ladies didn't play well. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No problem.
Hey,
and then go ahead.
Wayne, also, I want to give shouts out to the basketball team. They beat Oakwood in the exhibition game last Thursday night. Packed house crowd, energetic. Hey, we got some young guns on the team, and we still got the current players, Hicks and Dalen Smith, who's really stood up, who's taking a leadership role. So y'all come out and watch them. They're exciting. So whoever beat us, they better beat us this year because the future's bright for the men's basketball.
Absolutely. And then last but not least,
let me just address Ty, because Ty is really passionate with these comments. I see you. Just to let you know, students are not going to purchase season tickets and donate. I agree. We are working on just stay tuned. We have a special guest, and I believe that'll kind of help some of those questions that you have as well.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, with volleyball, their home finale is this Friday night against Alabama State. So there's a few things.
We owe them one. We owe Alabama State one. I don't care if it's in Jacks. We got to beat them. We got to beat them in anything. Kickball.
Absolutely.
Bid whist. We beat Alabama State in some.
Absolutely. Well,
shout out to our bowling team too before we move on. Shout out to the bowling team.
Yeah, big shout out to the bowling team. And so now we're going to bring in a very special guest, Mr. Jason Etheridge.
In the building, what's going on?
Wonderful, sir. It is so brilliant to see you, and we are so thankful that you're joining us tonight.
It's my pleasure, man. Thank y'all for having me. For real, this is real good. What's up? What's up, family?
What's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Jason, Mr. Etheridge,
yes, sir.
Please introduce yourself to the masses, those that have not had the opportunity to meet you. Just introduce yourself to people and just talk about the things that you're doing at A&M. Sure.
So I'm Jason Etheridge, incoming class orientation 1996. I'm an academic advisor for athletics. And so I work with 5 teams. I work with softball, volleyball, men's and women's tennis, golf, and men's basketball. That's my advising caseload. I also work with the band, and I'm an advising contact for them. And I do some announcing, and I work with them on certain things. I was a drum major while I was in school here from 97 to 99. And I'm also the coordinator for the fan experience at our games. So basketball season, football season, you hear my voice. We've gotten some partnerships, and we're able to do a lot of really cool things for our games to kind of bring the spirit and bring some excitement and just up the level of engagement for our fans while our teams are giving their heart, so we can make sure that everyone is engaged and focus on the success of this great university.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. And just for those of you that don't know, we as a group here on this podcast, we had connected with Jason, and we had talked about the game experience. And if you had not seen him in action, you have truly been missing out. So Jason, you talked about your experience with the March in Maroon and White.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the things about March in Maroon and White that maybe some of us that weren't in the band may not know or should know?
Yeah. So we are the hardest working organization on campus, hands down. I don't care what sports you play. You're not touching what we're doing. It's a year-round organization. It starts in the summer, goes all the way through the spring. Like you'll see us. We're already here before everyone unpacks their bags and moving to the dorm. And by the time you leave, we're playing at graduation, right? Like we're doing everything. And this year especially, it's especially different because we're basically on a world tour because we're trying to put our face out there and raise a lot of money. So we're doing a lot of Battle of the Bands, and we are everywhere. And the work that these young people are putting in, and the staff as well, Mr. Wright is amazing. Mario Warren, Jay Leon, Gary, Drew, Shauna, and Nikisha, and myself, and Doug, who does the announcing with me. Everybody is just putting in so many hours and so much time. And we're just trying to do this so that we can keep the name of A&M, because with the band, because we're at HBCU, folks are more likely to want to call for the band to come and do things, right? So we can be a face in every state, every city, every state, and help our university, keep its name high. So some of the things that you may not see are the hours of practice. We've been learning 2 drills at a time. We've been learning 2 and 3 dance routines at a time, along with the music rehearsal, with the indoor practice and the outdoor practice. We have the old football field is one of the band fields, and then we also practice on the stadium. And these kids they're just everywhere, man. So God bless the work that they've been putting in, so that we can, just keep all the spirits up. Because, with our sports, and this is traditionally, I'm not talking about currently, it's traditionally, after halftime, folks start to make their way out the game. And so we try to do some things to keep people there. So, we crank up our stuff for the 5th quarter, and then we add that to the fan experience, and it's all good, man. So let me say this one thing, because right now we are in another contest. It's the HBCU. I want to make sure I say this correctly. The HBCU Gospel Inspirational Celebration Gospel Tour. The 16th annual Inspiration Celebration Gospel Tour, HBCU edition. And so what's happening here is we're in a contest to win $75,000 for the band program. And each school that's participating is 4 schools. Each school that participates will win $10,000. But last I checked, $75,000 is a whole lot better than $10,000. And there are 4 schools that are up for it. So it's Alabama A&M. It's Shaw University in Raleigh. It's a small private school. And then the 2 schools from the state that I'm really getting tired of, Mississippi Valley State and Jackson State. And so right now we have been trying to get this push to get everybody to vote and vote and vote again. They say that you can only vote once a day, but of course we're going to spam it because we got a lot of tech over here, a lot of computer science over here. So yeah, we vote from the cell phone, we vote from the laptop, we vote from the iPad. Then we turn off the Wi-Fi, vote from the cellular. We go to a different cell tower, and then we repeat that, vote again, right? We do this. So you can get 3 or 4 votes in, 3, 4, 5 votes. You do one in the morning, then come back, do it again in the evening because maybe it forgot by then. But right now we're in 2nd place behind our folks, our country cousins over there in Jackson. And so we've just surpassed Mississippi Valley maybe 2 days ago. And they was trying to talk. And it was like, come on, Valley. Ain't nobody got no problem with y'all. Y'all just back up. Let's do what we got to do. Come on. There's no rivalry here. And so now Jackson State is our one competition. And it goes like this. Like we catch up and then they go up and then we catch up again. And so we're just looking for everybody to vote. The link has been posted and folks are, they're putting up the rankings over and over. So just get out and vote. Tomorrow is the last day. So if we get, it's 11,000 members in the all class reunion group. Just vote once. We're up 11,000, right? There's 4,000 members in the sports forum group. Vote once. We're up 4,000, right? But we just need everybody to vote. So if you're seeing it, jump in and help us win this 75,000 because there are videos that they recorded from the band, and we have the best video. I mean, of course, I'm biased. I didn't really watch the other one because after I saw ours, I was like, yeah, nobody's doing better than that. But watch it, vote for us, and I think they would send us back to Houston to receive it, and so we'll do that performance again. All right, so vote for A&M. And we're also still trying to raise money for Macy's. So if you can prepare a donation any size, if it's just $1, whatever, if it's $1,000, $10,000, that's cool too, because we need every dollar we can get. So you can send a cash app to $MMW1X, $MMW1X, and just send anything and just put, Macy's Thanksgiving Day, good luck. See you there. All right.
It looks like the count now is 20,251 Jackson State and 18,239 Bulldogs.
Yeah. We got close. We got as close as 400. And I think they got wind of it. And then they just been going crazy. So it's been like that ever since. But we just got to go. We have the numbers. We clearly have the numbers. And so all we have to do is just vote.
So as you can see, we put it there. We put it on the screen here. Yeah, so make sure you get this link and you do it. Go ahead, Jen. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. Once you get off this live, everyone that's watching, everyone that's streaming, go to mcdhbcuexhibition.com/AAMU/ and vote. Stream, vote.
And then vote again.
And hey, get your shields.
And call your cousin.
Night shield.
Call your cousin.
Shields ready.
Treat this like we do to retool your school.
Yes.
At Home Depot, because we don't miss that one. We really do have shifts on that. So
yeah, we won like 6 of those, right?
Right.
we get the whole campus repainted, everything.
Right.
Your neighbor that borrowed a cup of sugar, go next door and knock on the door, ask for that sugar back, and ask them to vote too. You just hand them, hey, can you vote? Thank you.
Absolutely. And so yes, please do vote. And so I'm gonna leave this link up as we move into the next segment with you, Jason. And if anybody saw the first episode last week, we always like to do something hilarious. And so, Jason, you're gonna be part of this hilarious part of the segment. All right. So the first thing that I want to ask you about, and this is probably an inside joke that a lot of band members will know, and this came from our boy David. Who's also part of our group. He said, ask Jason to talk about Piccadilly or Golden Corral.
So when you have you have about 200 plus people and they need to eat, your options are limited. We're not hitting up Cheesecake Factory when we're on the bus. Nobody's really catering for 200 plus people at an affordable rate, right?
Right.
So it's going to be either Piccadilly or Golden Corral. If I had my choice, I think I'm going to go with Golden Corral. Now, again, we're talking about 20-year-old Jason, because 44-year-old Jason don't eat like that no more. I'll walk somewhere. The palate has been developed over the years, you know what I mean? But we always going to hit a Golden Corral. Like after Magic City Classic, after we're done with the band, Golden Corral every time, and it was like the same one every year. So Golden Corral for me, man, because those were the days. And then like the antics that's happening between you eating and out by the buses, and everybody's singing dance. We used to have this fake frat called Chicken Fried Chicken, and stepping for Chicken Fried Chicken was like it was ridiculous. Folks having chicken bones. We trying to do like the little Alpha Train talking about the chicken. Listen, man, it's nothing like it, man. Golden Corral for the win.
All right, that's good. You passed that first one. Now, this next one, I'm not going to let you get off. It's so easy on this next funny one. All right, tell us and tell the viewers, what is one of the most ridiculous excuses you ever heard anybody give to get out of band practice?
Oh. Okay. It's funny because not every student is academically sound. So when you know that there's a student that's not academically sound, using the excuse of going to class as a reason for missing band practice, like, come on, bro. We know better. You know better.
Right.
Now, if that's the case, I mean, it's good. I got you. I want you to do better, but come on, man. You know that this is a game you don't want to go to. You don't want to, you're trying to skip out, but come on, you ain't have to do that. You have to do that. So yeah.
Lamont Rice put it in the chat. He said faking an asthma attack.
Asthma attack. Look, the fake sick bay for getting out of running and getting out of going through extra practice is something else. You'll see somebody at one point, they're hyperventilating and they all on the side. We put them in the sick bay, go to the sideline, be sick, right? But after we're done, we don't need to see you dancing and spinning around and chasing people. Right. You were just sick. Take it on to the room. Right, because Lamont knows. You can't be both. You can't have it both ways. Be sick and have fun. No, be sick. Jonathan, sick and shut in. Go sit on the
sick
steps.
And shut in on the steps.
Grab an apartment. Go in the sick bay over there. Be sick. It's okay. We'll take care of yourself and then come back.
Oh my goodness, man. This is great, man. This is great. And so all right, so we're gonna pivot back here now. Yeah. All right. So some of the things that you guys have been doing in terms of like the fan engagement. I know we've seen the videos with when you've been teaching the whole band and getting the crowd going. Tell us, like, do you create these yourself or are these this? Okay, well, give us a couple of them.
So this is okay. So let me give you the background on how this even came to be. Right. So I got here last November. That's when I got back to campus. And by the time anybody knew I was here, it was like March. That's when we started the games. But in January, A.D. Hicks, he reached out to me. He was like, I know you're a band guy. You have like some music you can play. We kind of look for some, some excitement, this, that, and the other. He was coming to me like I was a DJ. I'm like, I could do that, but I think that we could do some more things, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I started doing, because my wife and I, we have season tickets to the Atlanta Hawks. And so we go to a lot of games in Atlanta. That's where I'm from, born and raised. That's where my home is. And so I started thinking about those games and started pulling stuff that I see at those games, because of course they're doing it, but they're doing it at the level that we want to see it. And so I just started stealing from that. And so by the time we get to January, now we're in season in the SWAC. And so we developed some things, and we had some things that's already going on. Like, I really haven't had to buy anything or bring in anything new. It was just a matter of organization and some energy, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I came to the games, you had the DJ, we had the band, we had the cheerleaders. So first it was just a matter of making sure that everything was moving smoothly with just those three. Then they put the microphone in my hand. And what a lot of folks don't realize is that for the past 16 years, I've been a public speaker. I've spoken at every state, at conferences, churches, youth programs, schools, elementary, middle school, high school. Like, I'm comfortable with a microphone in my hand in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah, Mr. E, the Motivator.
Mr. E, the Motivator.com. Let's go ahead and get those. Go ahead and visit. You need some professional development, talk to me. My rates are not cheap, but it's worth it. So I got the microphone in my hand. And so that was the added element. And so what I would do would be similar to what Ryan Cameron would do at the Hawks. Well, now it's Big Tigger at the Hawks games. A lot of things that I would say, I would just grab. And so now we feel the interaction. And then with the organization of the things we had, it popped off for that last run for those games. And those last 7 games, the women went 7-0 and the men went 6-1. They lost the last game to Southern on the last shot of the game. It was rocking in that place, man. So it was real cool. So now we fast forward to football season. Now we have to have some things that we can bring to the table. In our area, we had 2 t-shirt cannons. Those t-shirt cannons that we have, they've been sitting up here. They've been sitting in the stadium. Just here. I'm like, ain't nobody use these? They were like, nah. I'm like, man, give me these, man. So we had to figure out how to use them. Got the CO2. And then we bought like a bunch of t-shirts. And we just started having fun, shooting them up in the stands, doing that. So over the summer, I was like, well, let's see if we can start getting some partnerships, because people like free things. Free things will keep you. If I can draw you in with a gift, let's get drawn in. So if I say, hey, if our team does X, Y, and Z, we're going to shoot out free t-shirts. That's going to make you pay attention to the game more, right? Just make sure everything ties together. So we did that. I had a chance to sit with our friends over at Chick-fil-A, and we got some partnerships where they give us free sandwiches, they give us the cows, and other things. They do it for the teams, the football team and basketball teams during the games, and they do some things for the band. They actually sponsored some food for one of the homecoming games. They're going to give some food for one of the travel games also. So we got partnership with them. We got partnership with R&R Sports, who we give a lot of our business to. And so they start giving back. We're going to give you 100 shirts. We're going to give you some towels. We're going to give you some this, that, and the other. They're giving us, steep discounts. And so now from here, we just want to expand it and make sure that everybody from the community is getting involved in what we're doing here, just to keep everybody connected to the great things we have going in our games.
Well, that is so awesome. And, I'm looking forward to seeing you in action next week. I will be seeing you at the last game at Elmore, and I also see you at the football game. So, that's right. Sir, I'm just so glad, and everybody is so grateful for what you've been doing for this great university.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And like, it's surreal being back on this side of the fence, right? Because we went to school here. They sent kids here, but it's cool. And shout out to all of our coaches, all of our students. We see them every day coming up here for study hall, and we dapping them up, we're talking to them, we're making sure that they're feeling all right. No matter what's going on, these are my colleagues and these are my students. So I'm gonna have their back no matter what. And as long as we all get together, man, let's just keep showing up for them. These are I want to say they're children, but these are mutant babies. You know what I mean? They are not where they're supposed to be, and they've chosen to come here. Let's just get behind them no matter what, man, because you got to have some love for these young people. Don't just consume A&M, but help create for A&M. And so we just need that energy from y'all.
Absolutely. And so just kind of as we transition here into the closing part of the show, and you're going to join us for this, we call this last part freestyle. And in this freestyle session, this is where we just talk about anything that has anything that we want to talk about. So Tenarius, I'm going to come to you first about our first, whatever it is you want to talk about in this freestyle session, and everybody just fill in and just fill it out.
All right. So this is what I want to talk about. I've been seeing this over the weekend. I saw with Alabama. I see with A&M. I see with other teams. I don't know why defensive coordinators don't like to come out of the man-on-man coverage. That man-on-man coverage will get you every time. That's exactly how that quarterback from LSU scored that touchdown so quickly, because Alabama was in man-to-man. Defensive coordinators, please go to zone. Zone helps sometimes.
Do you need a hug still from Saturday night?
I need a hug. It's been a long week. We lost the Classic. We lost to Mississippi Valley State, and Alabama lost within 7 days. It's been rough, man.
Well, TG, we got done the same way playing man against Bama State quarterback. When you got them athletic quarterbacks, man, you got to make them beat you with their arm.
Exactly.
Jay, you just got to keep a spy and let them beat you with their arm. When you start blitzing, them athletes, you can't. Them athletic quarterbacks, I feel you on that.
Right.
Hey, I got something here, band related, Jason. Man, I'll be looking at some of these SWAC games, man, and these bands be playing the whole time. And they come on, the referee come on the microphone and say, would the band stop playing? Yeah. Like, how do y'all feel as a band when the referee come and call y'all out like that?
So this happened in Mississippi Valley, because for whatever reason, we were sounding especially good. I don't know if it was the concrete. I think they have like concrete stands on both sides. So when we're playing, it was soaking it all the sound in and coming right back. But no, it's almost a badge of honor, because what we do, we try to practice to make, get them to play soft and all this, that, and the other. But when the referee's looking like y'all too loud, no matter what y'all play, like, man, thank you, bro. We appreciate it. We know what you're really trying to say. Sounding good over here.
Absolutely. Corey, you on the freestyle. What you got, boy?
Hey man, hey, I'm talking about that ball and parlay. Did everybody see that 35,000 at the shed down in Tuskegee for their
There was a
homecoming?
lot of people.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Tuskegee.
And everybody
A lot
want to
of
know how
people.
35,000 people get in there. I'm gonna tell you how, because they charge everybody a ticket who come on their campus. And you know what? I was telling the group, if I was the AD or if I was the president, I'll charge everybody a ticket to come on A&M campus for homecoming. And then I wouldn't care if you stay out in the tailgate area. Hey,
put the ticket
something to think
takers at Chase and Meridian on that end, and then come on down to the other end to Industrial. Line them up.
Yeah,
Right.
you got to charge everybody to put that tailgate. That tailgate be jumping. It's easily half the attendance.
Hey,
At least another 50% attendance outside.
Folks who want to come, they'll come. Folks who don't want. So hey,
Right.
I saw a poster talking about Tuskegee on homecoming about being in Dick's chairs and all that kind of stuff. Man, get off Tuskegee. Let them have fun. Hey, it's a vibe down there.
Hey, man, that stuff looked lit, bro. I saw the pictures. I was like, bro, I was feeling kind of jealous, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, man.
All I wanted was a piece of fish on some light bread. Just you just put it on a piece of foil. You ain't got to give me no plate. Just put it on a little piece of foil. I've been all right.
Yeah. So hold on. So as a comment came in from It's Me Brand. Yeah, she said that Valley said that the MMW tried to bully them by marching in and stopping in front. So let me explain that because I commented on that. When we came in the Valley, there's two ways you can go. Our spot is, on the left side. Their spot was on the right side. So we wanted to come in on the right side. We wanted to go to the left, but there's a big inflatable where the football team runs out. So we couldn't go that way. So we had to go down to the right. Valley's sitting over here. Every time we come to a stadium, we play backstabbers. Now what happens is we're coming in, we're playing, we're blowing it off, we're doing our thing. And in the front, the drum major's gonna start doing their boogie woogie, right? They're gonna start doing their breaks and all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. When that happens, what happens to the band? They can't go forward because everybody's waiting for them to finish. So it looks like we're sitting in front of them when we're playing them. And so it's like, ain't nobody trying to bully y'all. They just dancing. Just doing this little Watusi. They just doing this here. We finna move. Anybody think about y'all, man? Go enjoy yourself.
Let them feel how they feel. They'll be okay.
They need it. They ain't never had no rivalry over there.
I literally saw that post and went on about my day. Like, okay, what next?
Right. So y'all, this has been such an awesome time. And Jason,
let me just interject one more thing.
Go ahead.
It has not been addressed on this whole call.
Okay, go ahead.
My Astros won the World Series. That's it. That's all. That's my
good for Dusty.
Good for Dusty. Good for Dusty.
Well, not the Astros, but Dusty.
Did not action.
Good for Dusty. And he did announce that he is going to come back for another season. So shout out to Dusty.
Right.
But okay, real quickly, we'll get this last question in real quickly. Question for Jason: which band practice is worse, MCC or homecoming? For me, it's homecoming.
Oh, it's definitely homecoming. It's definitely homecoming because everybody comes back to homecoming. At Magic City Classic, folks they'll see you at the Classic. But at homecoming, they're there Thursday night, Friday night, they're there Saturday morning. Everybody's looking at it now. Again, I come from a different time. So it's a different energy from when I was there when the homecoming came around. But yeah, homecoming is definitely worse because every eye that has any interest with A&M is on you on that game. Madison City Classic is more of a Birmingham thing. It's a celebration. So it's not a lot of pressure. At homecoming is pressure because you got some folks from 82 coming talking about what your name is. Like, man, I'm 18, bro.
Hey, major props to the alumni band for homecoming.
Oh, man, they did great. They came with it.
Yeah, I have to give credit to Reggie Herbert as well as David Thomas for all of their hard work with the alumni band.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. Good brother.
So Jason, my boy, we love you, man. Thank you for just joining us tonight. Everybody, all of the comments. We love everybody joining us on the live stream. Y'all have been awesome. We just want to let y'all know that we're going to do the next episode, which will be at the same time next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We'll have the links out Want to make sure everybody is apprised. We've had it scrolling on the bottom of the screen, all of the places, all the handles where you can follow us. You know, subscribe to this YouTube page, follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page. Make sure that you spread this to all of the alumni, you know, and even people who aren't alumni, people that live around and just want to see some good content. You know, we are getting this thing up and rolling, y'all, and we love doing this for y'all. So, Jay the Great, C.K. Williams, T. Gooden, and our special guest, Jason Etheridge. We'd like to thank y'all for joining us on episode 2 of From the Hill podcast. Thank you. And good night.